Every popular video I have that has a million views or 500,000 views has a follow-up with 100,000. The revenue potential of Facebook is equal to the revenue potential of YouTube. What you're about to watch is a private coaching session. The guy on the screen with me paid $1,000 for this mentorship program, and he said it's some of the best money he ever spent. We monetized his channel with one video 3 days after he signed up to work with me. I'm giving you guys access to the behind the scenes. I want to provide value to you guys as much as I can for free for anyone who's not in a position right now to take advantage of the program. So let's get right into it. Hopefully this provides a lot of value for you. I honestly hate sharing this page, but I just want to show you who I am and what I've done on YouTube. This is my channel results after 4 years running my main channel. Here's a quick look at the YouTube channel I'm working with. Channel name is The Harlan Project. When he started working with me 4 weeks ago, he had 400 subscribers, and as you can see, he now has 1,800 subscribers. In that time, he published the 4 videos on the screen. The worst result was 2,000 views, but the best result was 122,000 views. The last video about the dump trailer got 8,000 views so far in 6 days, and it's really trending upward. And that's what we're talking about in this part of the video. We're discussing how long that video should be and exactly what content should be in it and what should not. And I want to highlight YouTube advice that's going to apply to everyone, not just people who would make a dump trailer video. But I think buried in this conversation is a fantastic nugget about how to find winning video ideas.
You've said all along, if you've got a really good video that's just jam-packed and there's nothing you can take out, then it's just going to be long and hopefully it will win. But I've been focused on trying to shrink them down, and I didn't want a 19-minute video. And so I went through it again, and I thought, what could I trim out? And there was really one section in particular I thought if I cut it out, it ended up being 1 minute and 45 seconds I could trim, so pretty significant. And I was talking about the scissor lift, still being able to lift, and I had 2 compelling stories. I don't know that I'm losing anybody in those stories because I think they're real-world examples, and I talk about the good, bad, and the ugly.
And so I pulled it up right now, popular dump trailer videos. Andrew from the Kelly's Country Life is 25 minutes on his dump trailer video. There's me, new dump trailer. And all I did was go look at dump trailers at different dealerships. I went 21 minutes. Ohio Woodburner, our dump trailers are ripoff, 21 minutes. You know, he did 280,000 views. That one I found on mine was 60,000 views. V-Belt and Son, new dump trailer, super single gooseneck, 28 minutes. How not to buy a dump trailer from Stanley, 19 minutes. Watch this before you buy a dump trailer. Oh, here's one. Can a 7x14 dump trailer really make you money? 267,000 views. And he's at 16 minutes and 54 seconds. I don't think there's a problem with your video length. The other winning videos on the same topic are the same length. So if someone's like, I want to watch some dump trailer videos, let me see which one of these is good, and yours is in the list, they can't go, well, I want the short one, because most of them are pretty long.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, so I try to make the videos as long as they can be without having anything that doesn't have to be there. So if I could make a 45-minute video and watch it and say, man, there's nothing I can take out of this, then it's 45 minutes. A lot of people just don't know how to tell a story. Yeah. And to tell the part of the story that matters to the viewer, all those things. That's a 450K, man. That's a winner. Does this guy have a big channel? Have you watched this video? He does not have a big channel. Look at that.
No, and even check this out. I did watch that video, and I watched that video before I bought my dump trailer.
So here is a big learning moment about choosing good video topics. In the short period of time we spent auditing competitors' videos on the same topic he was considering making, we found 2 channels that had their extreme outlier video on this topic. So this channel we're looking at right now, called Gunner Ranch, he only has 3 videos with 100,000 views. One of them, his #1 video, the most popular thing his channel has ever done, is a dump trailer review video. That tells you, if you see a small channel that's not getting views, but they had one video that did, then that means it's a winning topic. Looking for outlier videos that outperform everything else a channel has done is a great way to find video content. What I see when I look at this is a bunch of people have made money telling the same story you're telling. That's real money. 450,000 views. That's $4,000. Like, you could use that money, I bet. And so I think your video is good enough quality. I would probably do 3 thumbnails and test them. And then if your video a week from now is not getting 500 views a day, then I'm doing 3 more thumbnails. I'm outlining one trailer in red. I'm putting 100K on the screen, like whatever. I'm going to find a way. I don't fight for every video. It's like you got to pick your battles. I don't have 8 hours a day to sit here and go through my library making titles and thumbnails. Some videos I tried. It's a loser. Let's move on. And where you're at and the content ideas that you probably have listed and prepared, I'd fight for that video. If it doesn't run the way you want it to, stick with it a little bit.
I'm still struggling to be creative there, but the 2 that I have, and it's just different facial expressions holding basically the same thing. But on one hand, I have $1 bill. On the other hand, I have a stack of cash, kind of like which one is it? And then I do another one where I've got the same stack of cash, but I'm holding the big old wrench. And, the idea that, is this money or is this a headache kind of thing? And I might do that even in the title, like on the screen, like headache question mark or something to play, whatever the play on words would be.
Yeah. With the idea that you could spend your time, you publish that video tomorrow and you're going to be working on some other video, but you could spend your time saying, I need to rush something else out there. But if you don't have another idea in queue that has proven itself as this idea can produce hundreds of thousands of views, then I'd take that video I had and pump some life back into it. It may just take off and run. And if it doesn't, I'd give it 2 or 3 tries to kickstart it over the next 3 weeks. Like once a week, revisit and say, is this doing what it should be? Sometimes we think we have a great idea and maybe that wording you used, which I've already forgot, like cash cow or cash drain, maybe that's a winning wordage. And maybe people are like in that, like scroll, it like doesn't register as much as something simple like make more money or the words 100K or put long-term review. What I learned from 2 years of owning a dump trailer, whatever it is. So yeah, I think you probably got a winner there. Do you have a list of other ideas and projects that you want to put on the channel coming up?
I do. It's a loose list. I really need to make that a focus. The gravel video and the success it's had, what I've realized in reading those comments is there's 2 camps. I mean, it's I hate fabric and I've used it and love it. I thought I have 2 more videos that I can get out of the gravel video. So I thought that would be a way to, how to make your gravel driveway better. And then the other one, I thought I could probably do it no matter what because I already own the material. But after having just such a successful video, I was thinking about messaging Sandbaggy, which is, I give them the credit in the video, messaging them and just seeing if they would want to send me a small roll. Because what I was actually going to do is set up a sort of a
fabric.
Test site. Yeah, the fabric. Yeah, and set up a little.
You've been selling those on Amazon, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was going to email them and say, hey guys, I've got Amazon links and people are buying them. I have evidence this video is producing purchases. I'd like to make another one, but with your product and a link, something like that. Whatever. They could send me a small one that's not that expensive.
Yep. So I think you should absolutely be doing a follow-up. Soon is better than waiting. You're on a topic. There are probably a bunch of companies that make that fabric. If you demonstrate sales of that class of product, somebody's going to give it to you. And some people might think, well, that fabric's only going to cost you $100, or I have no idea what it cost. I got it from Vevor, and I think theirs was under $100, but I don't know how much you need. But Vevor is good. They're pretty easy to get in with as far as tools and cheap products and stuff like that. But
well, I like them because I've purchased a lot of their tools
and
just over the years.
they
So
give
that,
commission.
mhm.
If you sell one product for them, they'll give you anything you want. So that's if you get 3 no's or no one's answering, because what it is, if you talk to any intelligent marketing manager and you say, hey, I've sold a bunch of products similar to yours and I'd like to sell yours now, they're going to just say yes. The fabric doesn't cost them that much. Easy. Here it is. All you want. They'll probably even give you a discount code. But some companies just are completely tone deaf to it, and you could have 1 million subscribers and they won't answer a message. So, but you'll be able to get some of that. What I would say on follow-ups is you always want to do them. Every popular video I have that has a 1 million views or 500,000 views has a follow-up with 100,000. And I did a much better follow-up, and I couldn't get it to do what the first video did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Google, like YouTube has video buckets and they sort everything. And it's, it's this complicated spider web of viewer behavior and topics. But like they say, driveways, we're going to give 7% of all queries that have to do with driveways are going to go to these 3 videos. And depending on the previous history of the person, and you've got one spot right now that they're serving people who they think might want to watch a driveway repair video, they're getting served your video. They're also getting served one of mine and one from Outdoors with the Morgans and one from this channel. And they're picking from those and they're measuring them against each other. It's almost like you don't get 2 slots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so if
Yeah.
you make a better video tomorrow, at that one's already rolling, they have all this viewer, like, so whenever I'm thinking about something like that, I would be mentally prepared for the idea that I might make a better video that gets a lot less views. And think about that in terms of, we talked about it before, spending money that you would not spend otherwise on videos. Like, I'm going to do this 2 test pads for parking spots that I don't need, and it's going to cost me $1,000 in rock and fabric, and then the video doesn't perform.
Right.
And you're like, I'm paying to make videos now when I'm supposed to be getting paid. So it's a thought process to have, but there's no chance that I wouldn't do a follow-up. And there's a range, a spectrum of that you could do where you just use what you already have. You already had that other fabric and just talk about it, answer comments. And then I think I said it last time too, but keep in mind that you're not having a conversation with the viewers, because you had 100,000 people who watched and 75 of those people wanted to argue about different things. Those 75 people won't see the follow-up. And the 95,000 people who watched and didn't comment didn't have a complaint about that to begin with. So I had a friend that I was doing a lot of videos on my channel with me. He was coming over and he became like a sideshow character on my channel like 2 or 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he would read these comments, and one time we filmed an intro where he was just like, I was like, you had a lot to say about those comments. And he just gave this long speech. It had like the worst retention I've ever had, because I was working on the pond. It was a pond build project. And before we started work that day in this video series, he wanted to argue with everything that people had said before. These are new viewers. They don't even have the opinion that you're arguing. So whenever you start the conversation, you start this conversation as assuming that you're telling someone about it that it has no idea what you're saying. So you introduce the topic from the ground up, and you might just say like, a lot of people have told me that this fabric sucks. Well, here's why I disagree. But it's just a mindset to have on follow-ups.
But just quick and Do
you have a plan on video frequency?
Well, it was actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about on this call. And it's just sort of the situation of life, right? Where you're not a full-time YouTuber because it's not paying you any money, not any real money. And so you got to pay your light bills through your full-time job. So, and I still need to be a husband and a dad and all those other things, and involved in, my church and stuff like that. So I think my goal right now is 1 per week.
Neil Cove kills with 1 video a week. It's why I led with that. I would say I've had a tendency personally to force out content. And what I would generalized advice, if I had to tell someone, is publish however many videos that you can be proud of. And if that means like you had a vacation and this and that, and you don't publish for 2 weeks, my aquarium channel has 4,500 subscribers and 111 videos. And I got wrapped up in stuff and I didn't feel like cleaning the tanks well enough to make a video. And I was like, that is making 1% of my money. And I stopped and I didn't publish for like 51 days. And I came back and picked up publishing and nobody cared. There was no like, where were you comments? And the videos after I came back were getting the same view counts as before I left. You know, if you were making a lot of money off the channel and you're like, well, this month I lost $1,000 because I didn't publish those 2 weeks, but I would tell people not to do what I've done, which is be like, dang, I haven't published this week. Let me just throw something out there. And out of 1,600 videos, I've probably got 100 of them where I was just trying to throw something out. And it was like 9 p.m. And I'm like, well, I've got this thing setting here. Now let's talk about that. You know, you're pretty comfortable talking to the camera. There's no rule that says you can't just sit down and talk. I mean, you've seen me do that a lot. Where I'm like, you know what really grinds my gears? Well, today you're going to find out. You can force some growth through quantity, but you can also just burn viewers out if you're, you know, if your content is thin. What else can I help you with that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, let me look and see here because I had a running list of questions. I don't know how the other guy, what he shared with you about his feelings about these types of calls or whatever. I mean, but for me personally, I've just found them to be so valuable. I rewatched the course videos where you're kind of like, Instagram and these other things like Facebook, like I do them, but they're not that important. Just don't be in a rush to do those. So I'm not really in a rush. In fact, there's part of me that still lives in my own little private, like nobody knows I do YouTube bubble. Like none of my friends, none of my church, very few of my family, none of those Facebook people I never talk to anymore because I'm done with high school 20 years ago. So I've been totally fine with not, creating a page and blasting all that out. But is there a point where you're like, hey, bud, you've hit 5,000 subscribers. You are silly to not take it to the next level. You're you're maybe not a big deal, but nobody can laugh at you anymore.
I think you need to have a Facebook page. And I don't think that if you create a page and you choose not to send out the first day notification to subscribers, which is totally optional, or personal friends, I don't think it means people know you're on YouTube. I don't think they're going to see it. I don't think it's going to be served to them. I would create a Facebook business page and I would put the videos there and just see what happens. So I'd say like your video might take you 10 hours to make. I'm talking like idea, do the work, record, edit, title, thumbnail. It might take you 10 hours. Within my process, it adds 15 minutes to put that video on Facebook. And it's such a small percentage of the time output. Why would I not put them there? And the earnings, the revenue potential of Facebook is equal to the revenue potential of YouTube. My best Facebook month was 2 years ago, probably. I bet it's been that long. But I made $13,000 one month by posting my YouTube videos on Facebook.
And that's just a generic Facebook page that you like. I
Facebook
mean, like
business page.
I've made a business page. I mean, like I have them for my storage property and all that, but that's.
Yeah, so I just created one the other day, and I think I went to the regular Facebook app and I'm logged in as me, and then I go to create a page and I create a business page. But then from now on, I don't really access it through there. From now on, I go to the Creator Studio.
Okay.
This is my Facebook business page. So you're going to hit create post, And then from here, you can upload pictures or whatever. But so my Instagram's connected to it. So I'm go Facebook and Instagram. Then I'll pick a video and then it'll have a text box here. And once you select a video, it adds a thumbnail button right here. So you're putting in a title and thumbnail, and I use the same title and I take my thumbnail, and sometimes it's a super simple thing where I just paste it over there and then I resize the text. Sometimes I make a whole new thumbnail. But while we're on here, let's look at it. Insights, view all insights. So this is my Facebook earnings for the last 28 days, $1,300 on Facebook.
From videos you're already making, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
And there's in the last 6 months, Facebook has like ruined itself for creators, because I was doing the exact same thing and this number was always 4,000 and now it's 1,300. But if it's 300 and you've already made them and it takes you 10% of the time. And then the other thing you get with that is, let's see what it shows us on overview. So 6 million views. And to be fair, right now I have a company that's managing my Facebook page. They've been recruiting me for a couple years to let them do it, and they get a percentage of the revenue. And I'm like, well, I'm already making 4,000 a month. Can you guarantee to double that so that it's worth it? And we went back and forth and I never did it. But I know a lot of channels who do it, guys that you've heard of do it. And then my revenue dropped down to 1,000 a month. And I said, well, I'm only making 1,000 a month now. I might as well try it. But so if you reach out to a company, now you can say, well, in my case, I can say, in addition to YouTube, I also have 170,000 Facebook followers and 6 million views in the last 28 days on Facebook. And so you're getting double exposure. So
now,
how
are you creating your followers? Is it usually just through your video uploads? People say, oh, I want to follow that guy after watching a video.
Yep. I treat it exactly like YouTube. It's no different, except the difference is, and I'm sure you've watched videos where people talk about this, the difference is the mindset of the person watching the video. And I mean, you understand all this, but if you're on YouTube, you said, I've opened my app because I want to invest some time watching someone do something or talk about something. When you open Facebook, you might not know what you want to do. You're just like bored, or you just like, I just want to see a bunch of stuff, and you're just like scrolling through, and you might watch a video for a little bit. But what would you say your average attention span of a video you watch on Facebook is compared to YouTube?
No, a fraction. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think.
That's why it's hard to make as much money. To make money, you have to get people to watch videos within your ad on the platform, and people are not primarily watching long videos. Now, I built an audience of people who were watching long videos, and then Facebook kind of said, we don't want to show people long videos. So what I did is at that time, I probably had 10 to 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. I took all my most popular videos, I cut them down, made them square, put text on them, started uploading them, and people started watching them organically. And I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. Problem, you need 10,000 followers on Facebook to monetize. And I was like, I'm getting big view counts, but I've only got 5,000 followers. So what I did was I watched a bunch of videos, studied it. I learned how to do it. You can pay for followers essentially in a non-shady way. The same as if your storage business wanted customers, you could pay for ads to get customers on your business. So what you do is you pay Facebook, and for like, I could get a follower for like 3 cents or something. So I did the math and I was like, it cost me like $800 to run enough ads to monetize my Facebook page. And then the first month I made like $3,000 off of Facebook.
Yeah.
So, and I was teaching people, I was like, here's what you do. Just take your best videos, cut them down, cut out everything that's not perfectly interesting, make 3 to 5 minute versions, post them on Facebook. If people start watching, run some ads, monetize. That's the strategy. Problem is, I told like 30 people how to do that, and they all tried it, and it only worked for like one guy.
Oh, interesting. Like they caught onto it or something?
They couldn't get anyone to watch their videos.
Oh, I gotcha.
And so I quit telling people to do that. But that's what I did. And I built 160,000 Facebook followers, and I could get every video I published, I would get 10,000 views. I got consistently more views on Facebook than YouTube. And all I was doing, I quit cutting my videos down. I just posted the full length videos in square format. I didn't put the text on or anything. All I did was make my video square. And what happened was I used that recipe to get the ball rolling, and that got me like 20,000 subscribers. And I'm like, this is a lot of work. What if I just put my regular videos on there? And all I did was post my regular videos in square format. Channel grew, tons of views, lots of money, winning. Problem was, like November, I made like $2,000 instead of $3,000. And then December, I made $1,000. And then January, it was $900. And like February or March, I contacted Voov, and I'm like, guys, that's the second company that does this same service. And I said, I've quit making money, and the views didn't drop. Facebook changed the way they pay. And so everyone's making less money now. And so I was still making $1,000 a month for 15 minutes of work per video, to cut it down, go through the upload, put title and thumbnail on it, make a separate thumbnail. Not that hard to do. Now, if it only takes 10 or 15 minutes to put your video on Facebook, stick it up there. And maybe later you do something with it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you come back in a month and you're like, oh, wow, lots of people are watching this. I should put something into this. So my mentorship program guarantees you 6 hours of working with me one-on-one in a coaching setting like this to try to optimize your channel and help you grow and make more money. And I'm promising 4 hours, but the reality with Thomas is we did 6 hours. And I had 6 hours of footage to look at to make this video, and just decided to make the video the length that it is right now. There's so much more that goes into this. But I appreciate you guys watching. And if you're interested in a mentorship, click the link below this video and visit my website. You can schedule a free consultation with me, and we'll see if I can help you monetize your channel and make more money. So thanks for watching.